And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor Island of the Idols.
Okay.
But first,
if you are new to our channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, there's a link in the description.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, this episode happened.
Holy F.
All right. Most of this is at the end. So
Yeah, right.
let's start
but
when,
first.
Nora's apologizing.
Nora's like, sorry guys. And Tommy's like kind of mad because he's like, if Dean hadn't told me, I would have been going home. So he's kind of like fired up, and Nora's trying to save face, and nobody's really buying it because it's Nora. They know she's crazy and a wild card.
No, the game got the best of her, something like that.
And they're like, Nora, just give us a minute.
Yeah.
Just like stop talking, go away. Leave, just like let us process.
Yes. Now, wisely, everyone is up before the sun looking for an idol.
And it's first we see Dean and Elaine, and I'm not thrilled to see
First
Elaine.
off, I'm like, Elaine, get away from him!
Get away from him. He ruins everything.
But it makes sense. They should still be friends.
Yeah, and they've been on the same tribe since day one.
Yeah.
You know, they've known each other a long time. So
it's fine.
Whatever, they're looking, and they both know that they're the only two original Iros left at this point. So like, of course they're on the bottom. They got to kind of stick together. Yeah. Well, then we see Janet rouse Tommy. Tommy and Mommy go hunting for an idol as well, and Janet's got that eagle eye looking for that blue.
The blue.
She knows what she's looking for, and she just pulls it right out of this tree stump.
Yay! Good for Janet.
Good
We're
for
all
Janet.
excited. Janet deserves it. Great. Why Tommy has to be there for this? I don't understand fully, but
Tommy is very much like Elaine. He's just in with everybody, friendly with everyone.
Yeah.
So Janet then shows Tommy the idol situation. He's reading the clue
while they're reading,
and Dean and Elaine spot them from across the jungle, and they're like, he's reading something. Like they're far enough away that they can't really see, but they assume they found an idol, and Tommy's reading.
If you're looking at anyone doing this in the game of Survivor in the jungle,
there are no books.
They're reading an idol.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. So the upside to all of this is like Dean and Elaine have a heads up. I'm pretty sure Janet has an idol, is what it looks like.
Dean says, like, knowledge is power in this game. So even if they don't have the idol, at least they know it's out there and they could maybe use that information to their advantage.
Yes.
Well, then it's Island of the Idols time, right?
Well, before that, though, we get a little convo with Elaine talking to Lauren.
Okay.
Which then leads Lauren talking to Tommy, the jealous the jealous girlfriend.
Yes, because Elaine is basically like, Lauren, again, Elaine's in with everybody. Lauren, I think we gotta worry about these guys. Like, let's be honest. Tommy's not taking you to the finals. She's like already laying the groundwork because she knows she's a target this week. She knows she's like public enemy #1. And so she's just planting these seeds of doubt in Lauren's mind. And Lauren's like, Tommy!
Yeah, I mean, Lauren is the one to talk to because Lauren can make things happen. And Elaine is saying all the right things. She is getting in Lauren's head. She is making her worried. Lauren's going, no, these things make sense.
This makes sense.
So she goes to talk to Tommy. And unfortunately, she kind of like spills everything to Tommy. So that doesn't really help Elaine. Yeah. But it does give us some info.
Yeah, because Tommy then says, well, he like turns to Lauren and he's like, you are like a jealous girlfriend, like kind of trying to like blow it off. Well, then to camera, he's like, yeah, I gotta get Lauren out. I'm not sitting next to her in the final. That would be ridiculous. I want to bring my goats, Dean and Dan, with me, of course.
Which is shocking to hear him say, but completely makes sense.
Well, I remember we saw it in the preview, right? And we were both like, no way, he's really talking about Lauren, he's talking about Elaine. Yeah. I was shocked to see that he's actually talking about his ride or die #1 ally in the game for so long.
Yeah, of course he wasn't saying like, this vote, we're getting her out. Right. But he was explaining to us, I can't necessarily beat her. I'm taking 2 dudes who I can definitely beat. And so yes, Tommy, that makes sense. We understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those situations where he's keeping friends close and enemies like closer. Like Lauren is a big threat to him, so he's like, stay close to me so you trust me, and then I'm gonna eventually like cut you off, I guess. Right. Then we get to Island of the Idols, right?
Yes, this is when the boat comes up.
Yeah.
We have a bag. We are randomly pulling a name out.
Yeah.
Now, David had a theory that not everyone's name was in this bag.
Yeah. I'm like, there were not 7. Dean's like, 1 in 7 chance. What are the odds that my name would get picked? I'm like, there were not 7 names in that bag. It's probably just the names of the people who haven't been to the island yet, would be my thought. Because
you don't think they wanted a double?
I don't think they wanted a double. But
it's possible. We don't know what names it could have been.
We didn't
7 names of Dean in there.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right, there could have been 20 names of Dean in there. Who
They're
knows?
like, we want Dean to go.
Dean's going. Yeah. Yep. So he gets there and he is, muted. His response is muted when he sees Rob and Sandra. He's like, wow, this is like meeting Michael Jordan and Serena Williams. I'm like, that's your reaction to meeting Michael Jordan and Serena Williams? Who are you? So then his lesson is jury management, but before we get there, he very smartly whips out this legacy advantage.
Yeah.
And he's like, this was gifted to me from Island of the Idols. He explains that he made a fake of it, and he wants to know from them, is this real? I'm planning on using it at 6.
And Rob and Sandra said exactly what we said. He made a fake of a fake.
Yeah.
Except she threw in the word brilliant, and we did not throw that word in.
We didn't.
But at first I was like, why is he talking? They hadn't even said, like, at Island of the Idols, we have a lesson. Like, it looks to us, they might have edited something out, but it looks like Dean just sat down and was like, hey guys, I'm doing great in this game.
Yeah.
Look, this is why I blew things up at the tribal last night. And I have this advantage stand. That was a fake. But this one, he did ask, can you confirm?
Yeah.
They thankfully said we can't confirm. And he's like, I think it's real. And so this is my plan. And I was like, well, what are you doing? They should lead this.
I know. Yeah, he's just like taking control of his time in Island of the Idols.
But okay, whatever.
Yeah, so then Rob's like, okay, we're done with that. Like, the reason you're here is to learn about jury management. And they're sort of explaining to him and this is honestly a lesson Dean needs, okay? I don't think
a lot of people need
that he is in good standing with the jury. So the more wisdom they can impart to him, the better it's going to be for him, especially in this regard. So they're explaining, like, if you're making similar moves to other people, you've got to figure out a way to differentiate your moves. And, just explaining to him how to talk up his own game if he is to make it to the end and make a case.
Now, ultimately, his challenge is just a coin flip. A game of chance.
They ran out of ideas, apparently.
They did. And they were like, you know what, a game of chance is kind of a thing at Survivor, so let's just flip a coin.
Oh, I've never heard anybody talk up a coin flip more. Like, the importance of, they were like, this is $1 million move, and like, this is something you can sell to the jury about, handing your game over to fate.
I honestly felt like Rob was talking him into this coin flip. I kind of feel like Rob was like, I want to see you lose the vote, dude.
Right.
Is how I felt that was really going down. But what interestingly, obviously if he loses a vote. Yeah. But he got a little sampling, a little menu of options. The idol option though wasn't for him.
Yeah.
It was to play for somebody else.
Yes. And only at the next tribal, I think.
When they said the idol nullifier, my ears perked
ding, ding,
up.
Ding,
and obviously Dean's did as well.
Well, because we saw him earlier in the episode see what
Janet,
he thinks is Janet finding an
So
idol.
he knows they have it. Great, that's useful. Let's go for it. Let's flip for this.
And he gets it.
Well, that gave a chance. He's a lucky SOB.
Lady Luck is on Dean's side, and he's thrilled. And they really, it was like revealing who won American Idol.
It was.
He had his hand over that coin for so long, trying to build that tension.
For half the show, his hand was on this coin. I really enjoyed seeing Rob and Sandra dealing with Dean because they, besides that one little slip of the word brilliant, the rest of it was kind of like us, of like, who?
Yeah.
This guy, what? He gives off that vibe to everybody.
Yeah.
So he goes back to camp, he gives his little story.
I loved the way he did this. Yeah. This is, I think, the way to lie about Island of the Idols. You go back and you give almost the whole truth and you just twist a couple of details because then there are fewer things for you to get caught up on. So he tells them about the menu. He tells them about the coin flip. The lie he gives is that he was going to go for the extra vote option to win and that he lost. But everything else is totally true. And I'm like, that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because you can keep your story straight.
When someone's like, and then I lost, they're like, but did you?
Did you lose? But then he's thrown them off additionally by them thinking that he has an extra vote.
Yeah.
if they only think he lied about losing, then he's still got, you know, one up on them in terms of like knowledge.
Right. But his plan was to tell his little core group anyway. So he does, which is Tommy,
Janet, and Dan.
No, Lauren.
Was Lauren there too? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Janet was there? Oh, I missed Janet. Well, I definitely saw Lauren.
Okay.
So he told everybody but Elaine and Nora?
Maybe Janet wasn't there. I thought she was.
Dan, Tommy, and Lauren definitely were there.
Maybe Janet. Well, he tells them the whole truth, and now Tommy's like, wait a minute.
Oh, this made me so happy.
I thought Tommy was a goat.
He said goat, you guys.
He said goat.
He said goat.
Suspicions confirmed. It's not just us.
You people who have made me feel bad about making fun of Dean. Confirmed. Tommy said it.
Sarah is vindicated.
Thank you.
So, Tommy says, I thought he was a goat, but now, you know, he's got this idol nullifier, and he's like starting to make moves. Maybe he's more of a threat than I thought, and I don't want to bring him to the finals.
He is peaking at the very right moment.
That's what I said. Oh my God.
That's what David said when we were watching,
I did.
and
I was
it's
like,
so true.
This is what people talk about when they say peaking at the right time, and I just couldn't be more miserable that it's Dean. I mean, God, now I have to like change my tune on this person who I've been...
I'm sure he's a lovely person.
Kind of crapping on all season.
His gameplay so far, we were not impressed with. But if he peaks at this moment, if he nails a couple more things, then we have to give him props for that.
Well, let's get into something else he nails. So we go to the immunity challenge next, right?
Yes, this one is hilarious.
Oh, God.
Because they're spinning at first, and then the very next thing is they have to walk on a balance beam. That's amazing.
Genius.
Thank you, Survivor.
Yeah. And Elaine's like, just go for it. Nope. Don't just go for it. Give yourself a second to like compose yourself.
Yeah,
Nora, I was like, ooh, Nora's probably going to be good at this because of yoga and balance, and she is pretty good, but Dean is also right there.
Dean has great balance.
All of a sudden, you guys, Dean is good at physical challenges. Yes. Was he throwing it the whole time?
No,
I can't believe that.
No.
I refuse to believe it. But he does really well here.
He is the first one to the puzzle. Nora is right behind him. But it doesn't take long for everyone else to sort of catch up. So we have everyone at this puzzle.
Yeah. And this is one of those puzzles that's the great equalizer, right? It's a difficult word jumble combo with the puzzle.
Stacking, Elaine is
she's so
close from like the get-go. I think she like just happenstance putting the right ones together immediately.
Yeah.
We're like, yes, we're seeing it, but she's looking at it like she's not seeing it.
Her mind is, I mean, you know, these people have been starving for 35 days, so her mind is moving slower than ours.
Just spun in a circle. Like, yes, they're not...
And Jeff does, like, acknowledge in the challenge, which is funny. He's like, everybody watching at home is like, how do you not see it? It's right there.
Right, true. But she literally had one thing to do.
Well, and she said she had it. Like, she'd figured it out, but Dean was just that half a step ahead of her.
He was. He got it.
Dean won individual immunity, and
Dean won individual immunity.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
David.
I was wrong.
What did you
guys
say?
I said more than once that Dean was going to be in the finale without winning any individual immunities.
With a big old goose egg. And I said, David, that's a bold claim.
And I said, yeah, I'm standing by it.
But here we are.
Here we are. Not 1 week later.
That is. Yeah, it's only been like a week.
It's been like 7 days. So I'm wrong. Yep. Dean won immunity. Go Dean. This is like the Dean episode.
It really is. Dean is definitely peaking at the right time.
Yeah, and this was good for him because even though it felt like Elaine needed to win this more for her sake, because we all knew that she was a huge target, Dean's also kind of on the bottom of this tribe. You know, he's tangentially in with this alliance, but he's definitely like not as tight with them as they are with each other, right? He's like a number for these people.
Yes.
So he definitely felt the pressure. I don't think this was just like I need to start building my resume. He's definitely like playing for his own safety.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Elaine is very frustrated because of how close she was, and she's like, I needed that.
Yeah, so, she's really upset about it. Yeah. But she also knows we get back to camp, she has got to do something.
That's right. And I love her mentality of like, don't give up. Yep. Play till the last. I gotta do what I can to try to get Nora out because that's probably the only other person that people are gonna vote for at this point. So she gets to work on what I think is a legitimate case of Lauren specifically she goes to.
Yeah.
you got to think about this. Like, remember what I said earlier about Tommy probably doesn't want to sit next to you. Guess who he does want to sit next to? Nora. And probably everyone else in this camp wants to sit next to Nora.
Yes.
So maybe we need to get her out. Keep me, Lauren, because I could be a shield for you. People are still going to go for me next week, but maybe we need to get this goat out of here.
She's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
I love the way her brain works in this game. She is constantly looking for an angle.
Yes.
Lauren is definitely the one that you talk to. She's the one that can make things happen, right? So she's working on her. She's making her kind of nervous, which we've already seen in this episode. And this is her best bet.
That's right. And we've seen now Tommy say too, like, plan A is to get Elaine out, but we're gonna split the votes with Nora just in case she's got an idol. Lauren knows this, right? So Lauren knows that Dan is gonna vote Nora, and now she can count on Elaine voting Nora, so she knows all I have to do if I want to control this vote, this is the last vote that I can conceivably control, I just have to get Janet to vote Nora with me, and then we've got 4 Noras out, and I can bring that move to the jury as mine.
Now this is great. This is great thinking on Lauren's part. Yes, if you can get Janet and you guys make this move, then yes, this is you going against Tommy. This is you making a move. This is all stuff you can talk about later.
Yeah.
But Lauren also does mention Nora is a great person to take to the end.
Yes, right.
Do I want to keep her just in case I can take her to the end? So we know that she's got 2 really good choices. Like either way, Lauren's sitting pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there wasn't a whole lot of acknowledgement of like, I don't think it would be a good time to really do this flip for Lauren because there's still time for Tommy then to target her. You know, these guys, like, if Lauren flips on them and gets Nora out, all of a sudden she's completely out of that alliance. So she becomes an easy target for them.
But she's got Janet and Elaine. Like you can't hold off big moves.
It's true.
You got to do what's right for you. And at the end of the day, I think Lauren did make the choice that's right for her. But so going into Tribal, I'm not sure because either way I think works for Lauren.
Yeah, right away we see a little bit of like Dean playing to the jury because Elaine's like, Dean, I needed that individual immunity, and he's like, well, I mean, look who's sitting on the jury who's been voted out recently, guys, you know? And he's also like stretching, like getting ready for...
Rob is literally roasting Dean from his little box, and I was like, thank you, again, it's not just us.
Right.
Other people see it.
Yes.
Yeah, literally like stretching, flexing.
Putting on a show.
But he did do, you know, Rob was giving him credit for being like, jury, aha, you listened. Yes, he got it.
Yeah.
But then quickly Elaine kind of was like, yeah, me too. Jury, these people, me. Elaine is really started strong.
Yeah.
Talking about how she's a target. If you keep me in, I'm still a target next week. I've been a target since day 1 by my own people. She's saying, she's calling out Nora. You know, Nora is the person everyone's dragging to the end. So does that take your seat away? Does that take your seat away?
And she literally says, like, there's no room for Janet. There's no room for Lauren if Nora's in the finals. You know, like she's playing to the people that she's needing to convince.
Elaine, you are saying all the right things.
Yeah.
But then it took a turn.
Yeah, so I felt like this is great. Like she's definitely like, really, I think convincingly making this case.
Yes.
But then it turns into this emotional sort of goodbye speech.
Yeah, she started with, I don't have good luck, like things don't go well for me.
Yeah.
And from there, she went into her story. Yeah. And you know what? Her story is why she will win this game.
Compelling. She's like, you know, I had a family member pass away. I think it was her mother who
just
passed away
when she got cast on this show.
Yes, and like she's just been through a lot in life and hasn't had an easy road. And I'm like, oh no, like this is like,
pump the brakes, Elaine, pump the brakes.
This is the speech you make when you're in the final 3. Like, why are you making it now?
This is your final speech. This is why you get all the votes. But the way that it worked out, at least she got a good goodbye speech.
She did. I mean, it was a beautiful moment, and everyone's crying. It was a beautiful moment.
Janet's hugging her, telling her what a life she's gonna live.
Well, and as soon as Janet was like, no matter what happens here, like, you're gonna find your way, right? Like, regardless of if you're here or if you're on the jury. And I'm like, she's gone. She's gone. Janet's voting her out, but telling her, like, even though I'm voting you out, you're still gonna make it through. And I believe that, you know, Janet gives an amazing speech that would have made me cry if she gave me that speech. Lauren's crying. Missy's crying. Karishma's crying. Like,
I'm crying. crying.
Yeah. I know. It was a really beautiful moment and really spoke to why we specifically have loved Elaine all season long. She's just so dang likable and just real. And like, what you see is what you get, and what you get is like this warm teddy bear, lovable person, you know?
The way that Jeff sort of was like, yeah, and so now, and she goes, it's time to vote.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
oh, like in her face, she was like, and this is when I leave.
This is my vote.
I just was like devastated. Yeah. Obviously, we're being set up for her to go, and it is true. Nora got 2 votes, which we knew was going to happen. It was the one Dan directed to vote for her, and Elaine was going to vote for her, and then the rest were for Elaine. So emotionally, like Missy was crying in the jury.
Yeah.
Elaine walks up and she's like, this sucks, this is horrible.
The thing is,
snuffed, and she goes,
Elaine was going to win if she made it to the finals. Yep. And this tribal council only made that clearer.
Yeah.
The fact that everyone on the jury was loving her, everybody still in the game loves her. The fact that they were crying and sad to see her go, like, that's not someone you want to sit next to in the finals, you know? So it is a good move. Like you were saying, like Lauren probably made the best move for her game. Yeah. Because Elaine was a winner waiting to happen. Yeah. But, you know.
Had Elaine won immunity next week, like she has won immunity. It's not like she's just sitting there not doing anything. She's also a fighter. She has saved herself many, many times. Yeah. She was going to win the game. So if you are any of those other people in the game, you have to vote her out. Obviously, we are heartbroken, but we totally get the game move, obviously.
And she does too. Like, that's what's so wonderful about her is Lauren's hugging her and apologizing, and Elaine's like, it's a game. Like, good luck, you know? You made a good move.
She's like, love you guys.
Yeah. She just had such a good attitude the whole season, and she was really a bright spot in what has been a challenging season for many reasons.
All right, so, well, this wasn't the end of the show.
Yeah, we go back to camp. I'm like, what's going on? Is this a 2-hour episode?
Wait, we have just a few more minutes left, and
it's the next morning.
Jeff is walking up on camp, which you know is not good.
Sarah goes, this is only bad news.
Yeah. He does not show up.
And they're all shocked. Like, Lauren's like, Jeff froze. Yeah, they're like, what is going on? And he announces that Dan is gone. Dan is not returning. Dan is not going to be on jury. Dan is out of the game, has been removed from Survivor this season. No explanation to the players as to why. And then a screen with text pops up. Dan has been removed because of another incident that happened with not a player off camera.
Exactly. Like, what? My stomach hurt when I read that. Yeah. I can't believe that we are where we are. It makes sense that Dan hasn't said anything yet because he knew this was coming.
And it sort of, I think, explains maybe why the show was relatively quiet about the first incident, because they were like, there's more coming. Like, maybe we need to save our full, proper, robust response to this for when he ultimately is removed. Like, I hope there is more from the show this time around.
Well, yes, I agree to that, but I disagree. Like, because the show knew that it was a big deal, that he was removed, then I feel like they should have made it much more clear that things weren't great. I feel like they had sort of just swept over it and been like, he could have been, or it could not have been. Like, we don't know. And now, but it was enough for him to be taken out of the game, so they do know. Yeah. They do know that it was not good. So I feel like they should have been like, yeah, no, it's not good. And I don't know.
It sort of feels like I'm sure that they were coming from the perspective of like, we don't want to spoil anything. We don't want to like announce that he gets removed like 5 weeks later, whatever it is. And if their response is too aggressive following their decision to leave him in the game, there's like a little bit of a disconnect there, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense that they would come out and be so anti this guy, not necessarily, maybe anti is the wrong word, but you know what I mean, and then for him to still be in the game. But now I think they can sort of come full force and be like, we are not sticking by Dan.
Yeah, and it certainly depends. Like, if there's any sort of suit happening, if charges are being pressed, like if there's more to it, then obviously there are restrictions on what people can say. So
True.
like, we don't know.
That's a good point.
We don't know that. But like, I have so many mixed emotions because I wasn't happy with that big episode that we all went through together.
Yeah.
But I was willing to say Survivor was doing the best that they can, and like, let's continue on. And now I'm just like, oh no, it really was bad. It really, really was bad. And anyone who was like giving him the benefit of the doubt, we should all feel bad about that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just so...
I mean, I wonder how much more information we're going to get about what this incident was. The fact is that, like...
I don't have high hopes.
When, that week where everything went down with Kelly, none of the players really were wanting to elevate it to filing an official complaint. Like, we saw the producer butt in Kelly's confessional, and she said, no, it's fine, I'm okay, don't worry about me. Missy obviously didn't want to elevate it. Elizabeth, was not really involved in it, but was pretending she was. So nobody was, like, filing an official thing. It was more just, like, producers got involved to make sure everybody's mental health was fine. Now, apparently, someone filed an official complaint. And so I'm interested to see
off camera, and it wasn't a cast member, so that means somebody on the crew.
Right, producer, PA, somebody.
Cameraman, something like that. Mm-hmm. And he was given a warning, so we were told.
That's right, earlier.
That he was given a private warning. Mm-hmm. And so to me, he did it one more time.
And they're done.
And they said done.
Yeah, they probably were like,
great,
this is your warning, and from here on out it's zero tolerance.
Yeah.
And so then when it happened again... Goodbye.
Yeah. And hopefully it doesn't matter who it was, too. He did it one more time.
Right.
And he was going to be goodbye. Right. So that's good. That's the good of this. They did say, okay, obviously there's an issue. You're out of this game. He doesn't get to vote. That's fantastic. He won't be at the final. He won't be at the finale, which a lot of people were worried about. Like, how do we deal with this at the finale? Obviously, they are going to have to talk about
bring
something.
It up. Yes.
But he won't be there, and so that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, it was shocking to see this at the end of the episode, and like, I'm also, in addition to just like, of course, feeling gross that this happened and that he had to be removed from the game, it's also like, ugh, he like had to overshadow Elaine's moment, it's just like, he ruined it on multiple levels for me. Like, ugh, Dan, I'm not sorry to see you go.
No.
And, I hope I never hear anything about you again, really.
Yeah. Believe women.
Yeah.
The first time somebody complains, things need to happen.
Yeah.
So that is the lesson I'm taking from this. And I hope that we all do.
Yes. So, next week is the finale. It now has a final 5 instead of the final 6.
Final 5 going in next week.
Let's talk a little bit about how this changes the dynamic, because that is interesting, right? And we see a little soundbite from Tommy of like, whenever somebody goes, like, it changes the dynamic of things.
Yeah.
Tommy was planning to bring Dean and Dan probably to the finals with him. I mean, we did see that start to change a little bit. Now his strategy is totally different. And Dan is not an option to bring to the finale.
Yeah.
And Dan is, not his close ally. So it'll be interesting to see how this changes the dynamics of the tribe going into these last... Well, there'll only be one more tribal, and then it'll be the fire-making situation.
Yeah. Tommy, I don't know what Tommy does.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think he's going to try to bring Dean along. Dean...
Probably Nora.
...has the idol nullifier. But Janet has the idol, and Tommy's in the middle of those two. Yeah. So he's going to have to figure that out. If he wants Janet to go, then great. He communicates with Dean and they work it all out.
Yeah.
Dean is going to play this fake advantage.
Yeah.
He mentioned trying to get the votes on him. Oh, wait, there's no 6.
The fake advantage is only at final 6.
And now there's not 6.
Maybe there's not 6 and that's gone.
Oh my God, if I were Dean, I would riot. I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Dean had said to Rob and Sandra, like, I want to get all the votes on me. I want to play this advantage. And they were like,
Probably not a good idea to ever try to rally votes against yourself.
No, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
Dean, do it. I wonder
we might not see that now.
Some producers are going to be like, listen, Dean, that wasn't real, so don't
your
worry
own
about
good.
that.
Don't worry about it. And we see there's one final test with Rob and Sandra.
Oh, they're all there.
Yeah, we've been saying there's one final twist from Island of the Idols. and this is it. I don't know what it is.
But it involves all of them, which is interesting. I like it, I like it, I like it.
Yes, and I think at this point the only person who hasn't been to Island of the Idols is Tommy. Of these 5. Nora's been, Janet's been, Lauren's been, Dean's been. So this will be a new experience for Tommy. So
they're like, oh, surprise, Robin Sanders
yeah,
right. been here the whole time.
Right. Well, good stuff and bad stuff this week. I mean, I'm a little relieved that there's only the finale left because this season has been
I know, I can't handle.
Like I can't take much more.
Handle much more. Let's go ahead, wrap it up. Really looking forward to season 40 in February. Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, we just talked about Tommy's path, but I think it's also important to talk about Lauren's path because if she wins immunity, then she gets to sort of say which way. I think she'll keep Janet.
Does she get Tommy out?
She has to get Tommy out. I think Tommy and Lauren do have to get each other out. They are the two clear winners left.
Yeah.
Now that Elaine is out, it's down to those two.
Right.
A lot of you did comment on our last video about ranking that you feel like Janet has a good chance of winning, and I would love it. I wouldn't
hate it. I don't disagree. Like I think now that she's found this second idol, like she's building her resume in, you know, the way that she can because she's not in charge and like the leader calling the shots, but she's still making moves. Maybe Dean's peaking at the right time, you know?
Hello. If Dean keeps going and does some amazing moves, I mean, maybe he can sway. And he's a salesman. He can talk. I don't count him out. I think Tommy's right. He is not a guaranteed GOAT.
I cannot believe we're saying it.
I also think Nora is not a guaranteed GOAT. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Lauren and Tommy are definitely the standouts right now, and so I think that one of them will be voted out next.
I think that would be the smart way to go.
I mean, that would be shocking.
One of them has to go because they are the clear leaders.
Yeah.
All right, we are excited, you guys.
Yes.
I mean, we are sad to see our Elaine go.
Of course.
Very sad.
We loved her.
But we're very excited about this finale. We will be back on a Monday with a live stream. So join us for that. We will be talking about this finale a little bit more. And all of these possibilities.
That's right. And then we'll be back next Thursday to recap that big finale. So we will see you guys then.
Okay, bye.